Hello and welcome to Be Fearless online podcast by SquareX. I have here with me Vangelis.
Yes,
Yeah.
Vangelis Stykas.
Happy to have you here with us. And
Happy to be here.
awesome, fantastic. So please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Vangelis Stykas. I'm the CTO and co-founder of a penetration testing firm which specializes in AV and PV penetration testing. Its name is ATROPOS. And I'm also known about my research on APIs and lately on malware and ransomware C2s.
Fantastic. I've read so much about you. Pretty famous, I would say, around at least the independent researchers and
Yes.
research field. Absolutely. So curious to know what have you been doing at Black Hat at DEF CON?
My last research this year on Black Hat at DEF CON is regarding ransomware C2 panels, engaging and disrupting some of them.
Wow.
Unfortunately, their security was really, really good. It was, as I usually say, better than those of a Fortune 500 index. So I was
Wow.
able to just take and exploit 3.5 out of 140 panels that
Wow.
I look at.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow.
Yes. In general, it was a really difficult situation and really strange to disrupt. I was able to disrupt one panel and got remote command execution. It's of the Everest ransomware group. I was able also to look at all the messages that were exchanged on Malox ransomware, and I was able to look and download all the execution and the lateral movement of the Rust loader, which is a Rust, a Mac-only Rust malware that was used by Black Hat, also known as Alpha V.
Oh, great. So, why do you think that it's so difficult for web panels to be disrupted? Like, is it the way they've been set up? Or?
Web panels in general, it's pretty easy. It's easy. So
Okay.
on the malware panel, which is not ransomware,
Okay.
I had a 50% a success rate.
Wow.
On the ransomware panels, it was way more difficult, probably and possibly due to the money that they have. So when you have millions
In ransom.
in ransom to invest in your panels, you end up with something which is really secure, and they really care about their security. So
Yeah.
this was not only their C2s, but also their data leak panels, which is known, and they are really well looked after.
Wow. Okay. So, what do you think that people should do? Should they spend more money in the defense? Should they spend more money on the attack side when it comes to ransomware?
I'm not an expert in that.
Okay.
They definitely
No worries.
need to spend enough money in their defense and in their security.
Yeah.
They have to make the security as priority.
Right.
They have to be proactive in both the defense and the backup and their offsite backups, because taking under consideration the last 3 or 4 years, we can see that pretty much everyone will at some point be vulnerable and exploited by a ransomware group. So being able to recover from an offsite backup will greatly help.
So, from your perspective, what's the greatest entry point for ransomware to enter a user's device?
It's usually phishing.
Phishing?
Yeah, from what I see,
Right.
which again, it's not my area of expertise. I'm not a CTI guy. I'm an offensive web application security guy. So
Fantastic.
from what I see and from what I read, it's mostly phishing and or bought initial access broker from another way.
Understood. So maybe we can talk a little bit more about the other talks you're giving. So I understand you're also talking about EV.
I am doing a really interesting talk, Gridlock, which is the dual-edged sort of EVs and photovoltaic in the grid, in the panel. And I'm exploring a 5-year-old scenario, which was the horror scenario, that says that if enough EVs are being, PVs, photovoltaics, are being punched off the grid, it will disrupt the grid. And I have pawned 6 different PV clouds Some of them I got remote command execution on the photovoltaic panels, which meant I could firmware update them, I could get a remote command execution, and I could make them stop working or even get up to fire, and eventually disrupt the whole power grid into getting down.
Wow, that's a really interesting topic. So,
And all those with no hardware or anything else, everything remotely, which is a really strange thing to overlook, because we do have two wars that are being run. And we also know that there are certain national state actors that are going after IoT and OT in general.
And this basically affects everybody in the world who's
Yes.
using any sort of EV or solar.
No, it affects everyone in the world that uses power, which is pretty much
Everything.
99% of the world.
Okay.
So that's...
So we should all just go back to like candlelights?
No, we should go back to taking care of our security and APIs and securing our stuff.
Fantastic. So how how important it is that for people to come for DEF CON, Black Hat, listen to these kind of talks. From your perspective, how much impact do you think that we can give through these stages? Yeah.
Coming to DEF CON, coming to Black Hat is a really good step. You have to look. You have to understand that there are easier ways around. I totally respect all the people who are doing hardware and really smart people that are doing really smart research. I'm a simpleton though. I'm really simple. API hacking is usually, as I joke with my friends, a +1. And we need to take care first of the simple paths and then of the more complex path and more secure paths. I don't say that we should ignore the complex ones, but we as an industry tend to give extra focus to the complex paths and ignore the easier paths, which is easier and way more easy to exploit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So anything else that you would like to share, maybe about your company, a little bit more about ATROPOS and what you're doing?
Well, we are a new company. I have co-founded with my good friend and longtime partner, Jinhee Kim. We are specializing on the niche of power, renewable energy, and EVs, EV chargers, and photovoltaic power, and the API security as a whole. That's it, nothing else.
So you provide service to other
Yes, we
companies?
provide the penetration testing services
Fantastic.
to all these kind of companies.
Awesome. So where can people find you at DEF CON?
You can find me. I'm having a talk tomorrow, Saturday at 1:30 in, I think it's stage 3, main stage 3.
Main stage.
I'm also talking on Sunday at 11 o'clock on AppSec Village main stage. And you can find me around. I also have a lot of stickers, Nike stickers to exchange.
Looking forward. Okay. So any LinkedIn accounts, Twitter, they can follow you?
You can find me on Twitter. It's Twitter, not X. At EV Stykas, and you can find me as Vangelis Stykas on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.